Peace, my family, and borrow back to all those coming out of the good cocoon for the first time. Welcome. This your girl, the butterfly. We about to take off. Let's fly. Just want to send you all that good healing energy your way. Peace, love, happiness, harmony, and abundance. Hope you guys are out there keeping your mind. That's right. And that good night mind. How y'all feeling? Hope you guys most definitely moving on up in your higher nature family, and most definitely cleansing, because you know what's up. We gotta cleanse, and if you don't know, now you know. We gotta cleanse the lows. I came out here today to express, right? And this right here will certainly help you on this good journey. This is the great book, The Living, the Holy Tablet, and it continues, okay? This right here will help you to see the things that the Most High wanted you to see and know. And you are encouraged so much so to do a self-study, because this right here will certainly help you to raise your consciousness levels up, alright? So, where did we leave off? This is speaking on the Wars in the Skies tablet 4, right? And this is speaking on the Ritzians. So let's go on. The Ritzians had to abort Ritz and go to Gisul Orion, which is a 6-star, 6 major sun constellation, thus having hundreds of galaxies. The Ritzians took residence in the planets and star constellations of Mazzaroth and Arcturus and Camelot, Pleiades, making them also temporary homes. Exploration was necessary, thus the grafting of explorers became a necessity. This need gave birth to Romardians, later to become known as Greys. Now, I know some people may, see depictions of aliens and things like that, and they look at them and think, oh, that's an alien, but they're really called Greys or Romardians. Alright? Let's go on. These extraterrestrials, biological entities, EBEs, were grafted from various extraterrestrial species. They were emotionless and without reproductive capabilities. They served but one purpose, and that is as explorers or worthy servants. Their exploration took them to Lahamu, called Mars, and Shizaku, or Shisaku, called the Moon, where plans for the reconstruction of cylinder crafts called shams were built. This took place after the collision with the crafts of Ninga, the flight or the fleet, also known as the Four Winds. They transported gold dust to the moon, then to Nibiru, and from there on to planet Ritz. When this job, I'm scrolling through the pages, when this job was completed, these beings were given their freedom. They chose Pleiades and Arcturus as their home. Malevolent, Luciferian type reptilians chose to conquer them and enslave them by performing biological experiments, thereby creating hybrids of them, and they used them as explorers to this planet, okay? And they still control some of them to this very day. Those that took their freedom resided in the Cancus Major star constellation near Sept, also called Sotus, which is Sirius, the dog star, having 2 major and 6 minor suns, Zeta Arcturi, just south of the Orion's belt. These Greys sought union with the beings of Earth, having a common enemy, Lucifer, who controls 70 of their empires. As a great warrior, the Ritians engaged Marduk's services. They needed somebody who was a warrior type to go and seek out the gold and transport it back to Nibiru, to Ritz. The Ritians were being ambushed by reptilians, and at that time, Marduk was a disagreeable Yaoam, or what you would call a warrior. So he was chosen to lead this mission, which first had to be started by attacking Umbaba. Marduk was given the tuning weapon, a red beam of light, or a light beam ray gun, a light beam ray gun from the gemstone Sargis, a laser that was created by his grandfather, the Most High, to stop Tarnish in his disagreeable ways. He succeeded in his mission. The gold was being transported by cylinder-shaped crafts, 30 to 60 miles in size. They were assembled on Mars and parked on the dark side of the moon. The smaller crafts were 1.5 miles by 2 miles, and they had androids called robotoids that would scout out, the minerals of the planet controlled by the Romardians. So Human Baba and his followers who supported him, which was 1/3 of the Ritz, were cast out and was never to return there. Human Baba had taken residence in the planet Titan, which is considered a moon of Saturn, with a breed of reptilian beings. The largest of Saturn's 18 known satellites is Titan, and the diameter of Titan, including its atmosphere, is 3,400 miles. This satellite in your solar system has a thick atmosphere, and it's about 2.5 times as dense as that of Earth. Titan's atmosphere is mostly nitrogen, with some amounts of methane and other hydrogen compounds. Human Baba and his followers were Melmbai, any of the various warm-blooded reptile animals of the class of mammals, from Latin mammals of the breast to lama or mama, meaning breast. This mixture bred human-looking snakes called serpents, people who spoke with a whisper. Because of the damage that Tarnish had done to planet Ritz, the Ritzians started an expedition looking for gold, and Marduk and a group of the Anunnaki were chosen to seek this gold, which they knew could be found in abundance on the planet Tamat, meaning the maiden of life. Okay, they made many trips in a mother craft called Nibiru, which means the planet of the crossing, or that which crosses the skies. So Marduk found minerals on Tamat, and he set up a base on Mars, right? Meaning the density of war, known today as Mars. He also went on the dark side of the moon, Susakamu, where people had already lived under the rule of Luna, or Lunar, who originally came from Galgal, Pluto. The planet Galgal, Pluto, at the time, was a emissary of Saturn or Anshar, and before it was thrown into its own orbiting orbit when one of the satellites of Nibiru crashed into the planet Tamat, now called Earth, and those were some of the planets that were on Nibiru's regular routes. The planet Tamat was a regular stop off as well, along with the planet Mars, which to the Romans is known as the father of Romulus and Remus, and he was the consort of, or Raquel or Sylvia, the god of war, and Sylvius was symbolic as a half man and half goat, the father of war, symbolic of the ancient Egypt deity Ra. The symbol of the ram, the identity of sun, fertility of life and growth, which is pronounced as ray, as in the rays of the sun. The reverse of the word Mars is rams, right? The reverse of the word Mars is rams. And the inversion of the word Mars is wars, a symbol of blood called the red planet. Okay? And it goes on to say, this is, the long arrow symbol of war. And 47 Mars data is like the distance from the sun. So it's like, 142 million miles. Diameter is 40,022 miles. The time Mars takes to orbit the sun, which equals to 680 days. And the time Mars spends on its axis equals 24 hours, 37 minutes, and 3 seconds. It tilts on an axis of 25.2 degrees. Mars shines in the sky with a reddish color, and it is sometimes called the red planet. The orbit of Mars is more oval than that of Earth, and Mars' thin atmosphere is made up almost entirely of carbon dioxide. Temperature at the planet's equator may occasionally reach 60 degrees Fahrenheit. However, during the shadow hour, temperatures can drop to nearly a negative 202 Fahrenheit. Tons and tons of rocket fuel can be sensitized out of the Mars air, making traveling to and from Mars even easier than trips to the moon. The Marlington soil also contains an abundance of, gypsum, which can be baked by adding some martensite water and iron-rich dust on Earth. This is cement, right? And it has 2 moons, right? One called Phobos, and it's 19 miles at its widest points, and it circles its planet at a distance of 2,462 miles. Phobos completes its orbit about 7.5 hours, which is less than it takes Mars to turn once it's on its axis. And the other, the Deimos, is 12 miles at its wildest points, and it circles Mars at a distance of 14,700 miles. Both Phobos and Deimos were born by meteorites, captured as asteroids in its orbit. Here you will find the prototypes of the Homo sapiens, which is you. Alright? So, thus, it goes on to say, the word parthrogenic or parthrogenic, which explains that this site where there were pyramids, right, and ruins of temples of the Anunnaki were used for the cloning of the Homo erectus to the Homo sapiens, called the Adama Project. This is where the face of Cadman can be found, and this is on Mars. Alright, it goes on to say, today the site is called Sidon Nila, or Sidona, from Sidon, the first son of Canaan, father of the albinos, the cursed seed of Ham. Sidon is and means the fortress which is fortified, and his wife is Jenna. This is why today astronauts are interested in the planet Mars, because they have discovered that life existed right there before, and that there is a possibility that they might be able to bring human life to that planet again with its Martians or Martian atmosphere. Alright, so again, my family, that right there was the end of that tablet. So, man, that's beautiful, right? Knowledge and information right there, just for you. And it's so much more, family, that the Most High wanted you to know, right? It's a beautiful thing. Guess what, family? It is on the channel, and if you are interested, you can check it out yourself, which is so much encouraged again on this good journey within, to begin to do a self-study, because again, this right here will most definitely help you to raise your consciousness level up and learn about more about, you know, the boundless universes in this planet that you live on, right? All right, so I'm gonna leave it at that for now, family. Again, I want y'all all to know that you are loved so much beyond this world. Oh yes, and in it. Begin to spread that love, family, one to another. Be the peace that you see. Release our master teacher, Dr. Malachi Sierra. Peace, shalom, hashtag divine love, family, and wadu. And it's all